Hi everyone, welcome back to Backstage at the Club Rooms. Today I'm with Warnock Kerr, our president and business manager. We're talking all things how Warnock got into the society, favourite roles and RADS journey. So, hi Warnock, how are you feeling? How are you getting on? You okay?
I'm feeling fine, Chloe. Thank you very
Good.
much. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course, it's a pleasure to have you. So, you've been involved in the society for a while now, a little while. When did we first get involved? When was that?
Well, Lynn, my wife, and myself, we joined RADS in 1978.
Yeah.
So it was that's probably 48 years ago now, coming up to, because it was around about Christmas time, 77, when we came down here.
Right, okay.
From Glasgow.
Yep.
We immediately joined RADS when we arrived here. We also joined Darlington Operatic Society at the same time.
Ah, okay.
So we did some musical shows and we did some plays.
Yep.
And that was how we spent our spare time,
Amazing.
our leisure time, if I can put it that way.
Perfect, amazing.
So we've been around for the best part of 50 years. You know.
So what made you come along to RADS in the first place then? Why us?
Well, we had come from a background, when we were in Glasgow, we took part in lots of musical theatre at the King's Theatre in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Which is one of a dozen theatres in Glasgow. And we were very active in that particular society.
Yeah.
So it was only kind of natural that when we came here, we wanted to carry on doing either musical theatre or plays, and we decided to go to both of these societies because we lived in Barton, which is equidistant between Darlington and Richmond, and it suited us.
Yeah, perfect.
At that time.
Amazing. So do you remember like your first rehearsal or audition at RADS? Like what was it like? Who was it for? What was it for?
In these days we didn't have these splendiferous club rooms that we now have. 78, it was 5 years before we bought these club rooms. So we were in what we call the old doctor's outhouse in Wellington Place in Richmond, up behind the cricket club. And it was really quite a small room with upstairs with an area underneath where we stored costumes and set and stuff like that. It was really quite small.
Yep.
And when we arrived here, we thought it was very quaint. We came from a big city, remember?
Yeah, of course.
And we were coming out into nice areas in the country and living in a lovely little village and coming into this wonderful old town of Richmond, which we adored and still do. And we thought this was really quite quaint. I hope that's not sounding too kind of pompous about the thing.
No, absolutely not.
But we got on very well with the people that were running it at that time. And we thought, yes, this is a place that we could, get involved with.
Absolutely.
And people that we can get involved with. And they were very friendly.
Yeah, amazing.
And welcoming.
What was your first show then with RADS?
Well, the first thing that I did was a one-act play. It was directed by a woman called Elizabeth Hind, who's no longer around. But it was a play called The Recco, R-E-C-C-O, and it was all about, it was a mystery, a ghost story really, set in the Isle of Wight. I can't remember who wrote it, so do forgive me.
I think I'll forgive you, that's all right.
But I did remember my lines in these days, so so I do remember the play quite clearly. But it was quite a weird, mysterious ghost story. It was a one act.
Nice.
Yeah. The first main play that I did was The Day After the Fair.
Yeah.
Which is a Thomas Hardy piece.
Yeah.
It was a story by Thomas Hardy. And it's really quite a nice play.
Yeah.
Period play, set in the classical dress and all of that kind of thing.
Nice, amazing. So, what's been your favourite role that you've played? Like, if you could pick one, what was your favourite?
I think probably, and that's not an easy question to answer, because every play you go into, And I have to say I've appeared, I counted it up the other day there, and I've either acted, directed, or been stage manager for 80 productions
Wow,
for RADS. That's 80
that's amazing.
over the years. So it's quite difficult sometimes to work out which one I liked. Was the one that I enjoyed best of all. I think probably, I think probably the one that springs to mind is All My Sons,
Okay.
by Arthur Miller.
All right, okay.
I thought that Lynn was in that play as well, and I played the main man, and she played, strangely enough, my wife
Amazing.
in the play.
Typecast?
It was a bit like that, but it's quite a heart-wrenching story.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go into the whole details, but it was a very good dramatic piece to be in.
Yeah. Amazing. Which, like, obviously you've done, so that was 80 shows, which is amazing. You've
Yes.
obviously acted and directed. If you had to pick, I've got an idea in my head of what you think you're going to say, but would you rather be directing or would you rather be acting? What?
I think probably. I mean, I've always enjoyed acting, and until fairly recently, I could probably handle most things that people asked me to do.
Yeah.
And I think probably on some occasions I still can,
Absolutely.
if I could put it that way. But I do get a lot of satisfaction out of acting, and I'd still like occasionally to do that. But I think the most rewarding thing that I ever did was directing Brassed Off in the Georgian theatre, which was a great challenge because it's a wonderful story, but most people will have seen the film about the brass band and the mining, the demise of the mining industry.
Yeah.
So it's quite an emotional story.
Yeah.
And I kind of warmed to that because I knew quite a few people that were involved in that industry.
Okay.
And I know how much they were hurt by the decision that was taken at the time. But I also know why the brass band was so important to communities like that. I did play in a brass band myself in Glasgow.
Yeah.
And I kind of related to that as well.
Yeah.
I was an old trombone player.
Amazing.
So,
I love it.
but happy days. But Brassed Off was a really good thing to direct.
Yeah.
It had a lot of emotion in it, and hopefully that came through in our production, and I think it probably did.
Yeah.
I think to this day it's still a record breaker in terms of box office in the as far as RADS are concerned. Although it's difficult to compare
pricing.
Yeah,
of course.
But in terms of bums and seats, it worked.
Yeah, absolutely. Go on then. What's the funniest thing that's ever happened backstage or on stage? I'm in for the mischief, Warnock. I need to know.
Well, I think I can remember going back in time. First, one of the very early productions that we did was A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Okay.
And I played the young Lysander in that, by the way.
Part.
Just in case, if you've got a good imagination, you might see me in that. But I did that. But I can remember our past president, who sadly has died quite a number of years ago, Raymond Corbally. Raymond was playing one of the smaller parts in the play.
Yeah.
And there is a little bit of a party in the play, with at the palace and all of that kind of thing. And people had to eat fruit, in this. And I remember Raymond having to pick up this apple, and he went to take a bite out of it, but it was actually a China apple. And we all on stage it was quite difficult not to fall about, but there we are. So that was a very, very hilarious. We had to pull ourselves together at that point.
Was that like when there was an audience in?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
amazing.
Oh, yes.
Even better.
Oh, yes.
So all of you just trying not to giggle whilst
Absolutely.
poor Raymond's like struggling to
Absolutely.
keep his mouth together.
Poor soul. He was a very good actor.
Amazing. We'll stop for a short break and we'll be back in a minute with more Warnock gossip. Fancy supporting RADS and getting a little something back? Join the RADS Friends scheme. It's a great way to help keep live theatre thriving in Richmond. As a friend, you'll get a monthly newsletter, your name in our show programmes and exclusive access to our club nights and activities. All that for just £12 a year or £20 per couple, due every 1st of June. Whether you're a current member or just a loyal audience regular, we'd love to have you as a friend of RADS. To find out more or join, just contact our Friends and Membership Secretary, Gregan Davis. You'll find all the details on our website or in the show notes below. Thanks for supporting local theatre. Now, back to the episode. Welcome back. So, as well as treading the boards and directing and stage managing and just being generally amazing, Warnock is also our business manager and our president, which he likes to keep under wraps, and I refuse to hide his light under a bushel. So, how did you go from doing shows to then taking on like the committee roles? Like, what was the sort of step up for you?
I think first of all, the society did have a hardcore, if I can use that phrase, of quite dedicated people. 30 odd, 40 odd years ago.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a committee member at that time in I'm talking about the early 1980s.
Okay.
But the society decided that they would try to get their own premises. It became difficult for us really to continue to rehearse in the area that we were rehearsing.
Yeah. So
we decided to look for a place that we could call home.
Absolutely.
And that we wouldn't have to pay a rent for, and we wouldn't, and we would have enough room and facilities to store all the stuff that that a dramatic society needs.
Absolutely.
And of course, also a place that had a big enough space for rehearsal.
Yeah.
And the Pentecostal church were occupying this building that we're sitting in at the moment.
Right, okay.
They owned it. And it was a chain reaction, really. The old cinema in Richmond, the Zeppelin cinema, closed.
Yeah.
And the Pentecostal church decided to move in there because they were looking for a bigger place.
Yeah.
And when they put this building up for sale.
Yeah.
We, as a society, decided that we would raise the money.
Yeah.
To buy this building, and we got a mortgage.
Yeah.
Which in these days, I think the mortgage was about £20,000.
Okay.
That we managed to get. Which was unusual for a society, but we did get it.
Yeah.
Because we all put money in.
Yeah.
We all actually put in a few £100 if we had it.
Yeah.
If we didn't have it, then we didn't put any pressure on anyone.
Yeah.
At all in terms of membership. We simply kept the membership subscription at the normal price.
Yeah.
But anyone who had some spare cash, we put it in. To make sure that we could get a mortgage. Yeah. Basically, it was a deposit. Yeah. That we put in. And we got a mortgage, and we got this lovely room here, this lovely building. Yeah. Which and I got quite involved in the committee thing at that time. Yeah. Around that time, we all worked very hard. A, to acquire the place, and B, to make sure that we continued to look after it, and we continued to pay it off. So I've been involved ever since. That's why I kind of took the step from acting, directing, being a player, if I can put it that way, into saying, well, actually, we need to look after what we've got. Absolutely. And I've kind of done that, I hope, over the past 40 odd years.
Yeah, because like so obviously that's like your natural progression into the building manager.
I suppose so. I mean, I don't have a good track record of looking after property. I mean, ask my wife. But we do try to make sure that this place works.
Absolutely, and it's not just a try, like it's evident that it works because we've still got it. It's beautiful. We've got so much space.
It hasn't just been me. Lots of people have been involved in this particular project over many, many years, and we should remember that it's not a one-man band, it's a team effort.
Of course it is, absolutely. So as well as being our building manager, you also are our president. So when did that happen? Yeah.
Well, the president thing really is an honorary title.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed I managed to get honorary right, because I normally add another couple of R's.
I know. Yeah.
It's not easy to say, but being an actor, you should be able to say that, shouldn't you? President is an honorary position, and actually doesn't have a vote in the committee.
Yeah.
The business manager does, which is why I'm both.
Yeah.
Split personality.
Of course.
But the president really is appointed at the AGMs by the society on the recommendation of the committee.
Yeah.
So that it's normally a person who's been around for a long time and has done work, mainly committee work, but not necessarily, but mainly committee work if possible.
Yeah.
With the society, and knows how the whole thing works.
Yeah.
And that is I would say, a prerequisite for the position of president.
Yeah.
Not all our presidents have actually been involved. We've sometimes had outside dignitaries, well-known people, up as president. But I think it works best with people who are part and parcel of the and come along to things and take part in the whole process.
Yeah, of course. So obviously, like you say, the president doesn't have a voting say on the committee, but it's a very, very important role because, I mean, I found out that you were president purely from after one of the shows. You introduced us to the NODA reps, and you're like, as president, and I was like, Warnock's the president? What's happening? But like, it keeps it so on the down low. It's so humble. I'm like, no, brag about this title, please. So yeah, what sort of in that duty, like, what is your involvement there?
Well, I think the main thing is to represent the society in a reasonable way, and not bring it into disrepute. I find that difficult sometimes. But anyway, it's to represent the society, and I therefore. We often are invited to go to things in the town hall, maybe the mayor's making, or all of that kind of thing. Yeah. The chair of the society should certainly go to that as well, but the president is available to go and represent the society, I suppose, in that way. I think it's also important that somebody represents key visitors to our shows.
Yeah.
And I'd certainly take that quite seriously. And I'm normally there every night at a production. And there are normally people from NODA. Yeah. There's normally the mayor. Yeah. There's normally someone from Richmond district, from what is now North Yorkshire County Council. Yeah. So these kind of dignitaries, for want of a better word. Yes. These people should be looked after when they come to visit us. Yeah, of course. And I take that duty quite seriously, and I don't mind doing it. Yeah. Amazing.
What's something that people don't realise goes into running a society? What's something that you think no one knows that this happens, but we're like ducks. Everything looks so smooth, and then underneath we're paddling like mad. What do you think is something that people don't realise?
I think the work that goes on backstage. Everyone sees the actors. Yeah. And the audiences, and having acted and being an actor myself, it's great to receive audience appreciation.
Absolutely.
And you get that instantly when you're on stage.
Yeah.
I remember somebody, film actors saying they miss the stage work that they used to do because you don't get instant appreciation.
Yeah.
You get bawled at from directors and, people on the set, and then you go home. But on stage, there's an instant appreciation, hopefully, from an audience.
If you're doing it right.
The people that don't get instant appreciation are the people who are so essential to the whole thing, which is, the wardrobe people, the set people, the music people very often, although they are very often, if it's a musical production, then they normally would stand up and take a bow of some description. But again, the work that goes in backstage, if it's down to the scene shifters, and I shift scenery for the pantomime in the Georgian theatre every year. So I think that not everyone outside in the audience realises the enormous work that goes on to get that to that level.
Absolutely.
The painting of the scenery, for instance. The building of the scenery, the sewing of the costumes. All that kind of work is so essential. And that's where they should get applause.
Absolutely.
As well, certainly.
100%. How has RADS changed since you joined?
Do you know, I don't think it's changed that much.
Do you not?
People probably might think that it has.
Yeah.
We have more space in here since I joined. You know, we to store stuff and to have social events.
Yeah.
And I think the social aspect of the society is important. I think, to some extent, the social aspect of the society is now coming back to where it was when we joined.
Amazing.
And that's all credit to yourself, and previous social secretaries have put lots of good work in as well.
Yeah. But,
you know, the kind of work that you're doing yourself now is so important. Because really it's great to take part in a play, but actually a society is really some place where people should come along and be comfortable and be friendly with everyone else.
Absolutely.
And look forward to meeting their friends, not just their colleague actors. Yeah. They might not be very good actors. Yeah. Some of us, you know, just kind of, you know, get by. Yeah. But it's good to be part of the team. And
absolutely.
Whether it's on stage or backstage, there's always something for someone to do.
Absolutely.
And I don't think RADS has changed that much. I'd like to think that it's still a very friendly society.
Oh, absolutely.
And everyone will have their own view about that. But if you're prepared to compromise on what you think a society is, and get on with people, then you'll enjoy being part of the society. Yeah,
absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. What are you most excited for the future for RADS?
Well, I'm excited now because we have a really good influx. Sounds a terrible word, but it sounds as I don't like using that word. I don't know why I used it. We have a lot of very competent, enthusiastic young people. Now, you know, anyone under the age of 70 is young as far as I'm concerned. But what I'm talking about are people of your own age, of people of, you know, that have come in over the years, maybe even only in the past 3 or 4 years, since the dreadful pandemic time, you know, where the people have gone, I really must get out. I'll go and join the Dramatic Society. Yeah. And that's great. It really is. That's not to say that the people who have been around for 20 years aren't
No,
important.
absolutely, because without them we wouldn't be here. So absolutely, they're super
because
important.
they're really important, because they've got a bit of there's no substitute for experience.
Absolutely not.
But it's good to see that we've got a lot of relatively new people who are now gaining that experience, and I think that the society has a great future.
Yeah,
I really do. We're very fortunate to be in a town that has a theatre like the Georgian Theatre.
absolutely.
I was on the trust of the Georgian Theatre for 30 years
Yeah.
as a trustee, as a director of the theatre.
Wow. Okay.
I also did 4 or 5 years as the chief executive of the theatre.
Oh,
So I
okay.
ran the place
Yeah.
for that time. I was, on behalf of the Georgian Theatre Productions Company, I was the producer of the pantomimes
Yeah.
from 2010 till 2015,
Amazing.
with the exception of 1 year when I passed on to another manager who ran the theatre at that time.
Yeah.
But in all of that time, I was able to produce some pantomimes.
Wow.
It didn't mean that I was directing them, because we had a professional director directing professional actors.
Yeah.
But that was the first time that we had made the pantomime in-house.
Yeah.
And we appointed all the actors, musicians, and director for that time. So I know how the theatre works.
Yeah.
Probably as well as anyone else, maybe better in some instances. And that's where I think RADS and the theatre are almost, one.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They're not. They're quite separate.
Yeah.
But the RADS people do provide a big service to the theatre as volunteers.
Yeah.
And, that's always been the case.
Yeah.
And I think we've been volunteering. RADS were actually invited to go to the Georgian Theatre in 1963 when it reopened.
Ah, okay.
We have an official letter from the then Lady Craythorne,
Wow.
the current Lord Craythorne's mother,
Yeah.
to come and entertain the people of Richmond
That's amazing.
with plays.
Yeah.
So RADS have been performing in the Georgian since that time,
Yeah.
which is a great relationship.
It is.
And we try not to do anything to upset that relationship.
No, of course. And I think a lot of, one of the big pulls, I mean, for me personally, when I was coming to RADS, one of the big pulls was obviously to be part of a society and do plays, but as well, the privilege of being able to perform in that theatre is a massive draw to the society.
Absolutely.
It's a privilege is the only really adequate word for it, to be able to perform in that space, knowing the history of the building.
Yes.
The fact that it's there and it's ours to perform in is amazing. And I think that is one of the great things about RADS, is that we get to be in that space, and it's our space for a week, and it's lovely to have that space.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, we'll be back in a minute for our quick fire round.
Oh, dear.
Looking for a fun way to spend a Monday evening? Come along to our monthly RADS Club Nights, held on the second Monday of every month at the Club Rooms. Whether you're a seasoned performer or just theatre curious, everyone's welcome, member or not. We've got all sorts of drama-filled fun, from script read-throughs to games, workshops and more. It's relaxed, it's social, it's theatrical, and we'd love to see you there. Keep an eye on our socials for times and themes, and come and join the RADS madness. Welcome back to our final round, which is our quick fire round. So, 5 questions, rapid fire answers. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay, question 1. Favourite show you've ever done?
All My Sons.
Awesome. Dream role?
Probably Prospero.
Oh, solid. Yeah, good choice. Dream show for RADS to do?
The Miracle Worker.
Oh, okay. Do you have any pre-show rituals?
Yes, I'm very silent, funnily enough.
Oh,
I don't
really?
like talking to people. before I go on stage.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Love that. Just block everyone out. Just shh, don't talk to me. And then one word to describe RADS.
Fantastic.
Awesome. That was a really good quick fire round. That was really rapid. Amazing. Well,
the Miracle Worker, I can't remember who actually wrote it, but actually it's a play that Lynn has wanted to do for donkey's years.
Get her on it. Go on.
It's what's the name of the author? It doesn't matter. Yeah, can't remember.
But yeah. Oh yeah, we should get her on that. We'll pester her to do it.
Yeah.
Warnock, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for coming and having a chat with me. Tickets are now on sale for our spring production of The Mirror Cracked, which is running from the 18th to the 21st of March at the beautiful Georgian Theatre Royal. Tickets are, like I say, now available on their website as well as from calling the box office. The links are in the description. Don't miss out. It's going to be a sellout, that one. And we'll see you next time at Backstage at the Club Rooms. Thanks for listening. Bye.